by this bitch, we mean hopefully not the world.
By this bitch, we
Correct.
do not in case by let's try and end this bitch. We do not in this case mean the world. We do not. There are at least two other groups who are in fact trying to end this bitch, i.e., the world.
What if the world does end though? Like
Well, we're gonna
maybe it
find out
deserves
together.
it.
The
You know,
way we've been rolling.
that is defecting to the enemy's side is technically an option. It's not.
I mean,
if
what
you
if it
if you Greg the
happens-
game at this
You
point,
are a sick son of a
though.
Kill that dog.
Greg the game? What does
the
that
sleeper
mean?
Greg, the sleeper Greg
Greg.
maneuver.
Greg.
Greg was notorious for going against the group and doing his own thing and making GMs just head explode. It's
Specifically, Greg in two separate Dresden Files campaigns joined the Denarians. Two separate Dresden Files games, just joined up with the big bads for reasons, for his own reasons. So it's sort of become now that late in the game, for unknown reasons, suddenly throwing in your lot with the enemy is now Gregging the game.
I equate it with even early game because I played a game with him once where immediately it's like we're going this way and he's like, nope, I'm going this way. It's like ideals completely off from the rest of the group. Like I'm going to be an alligator or something. I can't remember what it was, but
yeah. I feel like that while that is very much Gregging the game is very much his legacy, and he is up in atheist heaven right now being like, man, fuck you guys.
He split off from the group early as usual. Man.
You know what? You're right. It's been 6 years, so I don't know. I don't know if that's too soon or not, but it's fine.
It's never too soon to let go of grudges.
I mean,
Actually, it's never too. Hold on, wait.
it feels
Yes,
very
never too
much like
soon.
it feels like something that Greg would laugh at, though.
It's true.
So yeah,
It's true.
if it seems like something Greg would laugh at, I feel like it's okay.
Right. Anyway, hi, welcome to the Reminiscing About Fallen Comrades channel. Oh wait, no, that's not what this is. This is Thy Kingdom Come. We are a game on Live from the Apocalypse, which is a not-for-profit TTRPG studio making actual play content in the forms of streams and podcasts to raise money for nonprofits, aid organizations, and progressive causes. We're currently raising money for Medical Aid for Palestinians, and we ask if you like what you see here, take the $5, $10, whatever you can spare, no expectations, and donate it directly to Medical Aid for Palestinians instead of giving it to us. The donate button is where the subscribe button would ordinarily be, and by clicking it, you can make the McElroy brothers yell at JD and interrupt whatever dramatic and important scene is going on. This particular game does have some donation incentives. A $15 donation will allow you to give a player of your choice +1 forward. A $20 donation will allow you to give a player of your choice -1 to their next roll. It costs more to be nasty. Also, if you donate $25, you can force me, the poor GM, to run the game in a silly voice for 60 seconds. You won't find a deal like that anywhere else. And now, without further ado, let's introduce our players, starting with Amber.
Hi everybody, I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. I am an Emmy-winning TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, and streamer, also marketing manager over at Labyrinth Games and Puzzles in Washington, D.C. I am coming to you, maybe, possibly, for the last time, as Imogen Warwick, our scholar, our mortal, our, God, we
Token
love them.
normie?
Token normie. Pronouns they, them, or she, they. Same as my pronouns. She, they.
Is it me?
Yes, it is
Popcorn
Bedlam.
Bedlam.
It is Bedlam.
Popcorn Bedlam.
Hello. So I'm Bedlam. I am playing Jerome Nears, our Tainted. And as Amber was saying, yeah, it could be for the last time. We're gonna find out. So Jerome is part of a coven that has been worshiping possibly a fallen angel we found out recently. And there's this whole hierarchy that Jerome always associated with strong family values and for the good of the people and all kinds of things. And maybe his illusions are being shattered. And let's see here. Former or perhaps current still drug dealer at the local high school. 14 years old, very industrious, little person. But bigger things have been happening. What with the end of the world and persecution of the supernatural and all kinds of things. Questing with our friends here to try and stop the bads from happening. And that's about it.
Excellent. Incredible. Brendan.
Hi everybody. I am Brendan. My pronouns he, him. I am playing Sefer, pronouns they, them. Teenage Frankenstein Thembo in a trench coat. No. Teenage Frankenstein Thembo really going through it. V2 Rocket in a trench coat. The memes just kind of all blur and blob together at this point. They are using the nuclear. They are using the nuclear vessel playbook. It's gonna be a time. Times will be had.
We are all having a day today. JD, can continue.
Sure. I would love to. Hi, I am JD, pronouns he, they. I am playing Saint Soren Augustine, pronouns he, him, the Revenant. And, Soren is doing just fine. Everything's normal. He finally met one of his only friends in person for the first time last time, and now the world is about to end. So, things are going really great. And,
We're back. Hi, everybody. We're back.
Oh,
Are
We
we
know
back?
nothing about no things.
Are we back?
There are no things that are known.
We are back. Okay, I can see myself talking. I can see the top of my little head as I look down at my phone, which is great for me. Seeing how that, gray hair is coming along. The you're like you're older than I am.
True.
Anyway, I believe we left off. JD was introducing us to Saint Soren Augustine, who is actually probably of all of you the one most likely to actually be a nuclear vessel.
I think
Bless it.
that's valid.
Mm-hmm. Your fox is a gateway to the bright. Your
And I got people to kill.
and you got people to kill.
Yeah.
would
And-
the fox be the nuclear reactor in this vessel situation?
It sure would.
Not sure. I think the fox is actually the vessel, and JD is one of the nukes.
I like how
Is
you
one of the-
specified JD
Oh, yeah,
rather than
sorry.
Soren. No, I
Soren.
just appreciate that.
You know, one of the Mondays of all time. When we left off last session, where were some disturbing revelations? Oh, I'm Della, she, her. I play everybody else. Pronouns, pretty much all of them. Yes, last time we left off, there were some disconcerting revelations about the nature of Snake Church, about the nature of Aoife's place in the church, and how the church, pronouns pro/noun. Thanks, Brendan.
I do what I can.
You do what you can, and you do it well. Hold on.
Yeah, it's where we're at, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last session, we found out some things. First, we found out that the church has been complicit in the sons of Adam doing what they do. We found that out from Aoife. We also discovered that the sons of Adam have been successful in capturing and banishing a Centagorath, the demon of addiction, who had been essentially the spokesdemon for all tainted on Earth, even ones who did not answer specifically to him. He is now gone, which essentially leaves sort of politically speaking on the broader stage, leaves all tainted without any protections, without even the protections that he was able to offer. Aoife revealed the extent of the church's complicity in the Sons of Adam's attacks on people and on the Sons of Adam's eventual idea to punch a hole in reality to create a new universe. At the same time, you also were given information on how to potentially reach the Sons of Adam to potentially either stop them or figure out where they're at. You could potentially go and find Uncle Tony and see what's going on there. Jerome also got a panicked call from his mother telling him not to trust anyone from the church. Specifically, trust no one whose bones Ivy still has.
The coven specifically, Snake Church, right? We don't want to confuse the coven with the church, right?
That's true. The coven cannot be trusted. So members of Snurch who are not members of the coven may still be trustworthy. But if they have completed their ritual and Ivy has their bones, they may not be trustworthy. Which is concerning for you because she has one of your bones, Jerome. And let me see. Am I missing anything?
Didn't the coven have some sort of an agreement that got what's it called, negated or violated?
Yes, the coven had an agreement with the Sons of Adam. The Sons of Adam were to essentially identify Penny, get her, and take her to the coven. Instead, they didn't do that. They went to go find Penny, trashed a hospital, and Erujan showed up. Not sure what he's doing there. Failed to find Penny thanks to y'all's interference. And when they attacked Snake Church as well, they completely screwed up a lot of the coven's plans. They blew the coven's cover within Snake Church, all to shit now. And the coven now considers them like primary enemies, like major enemies.
Which one would have thought they were in the first place? So this is eye-opening. So.
It's true. As far as what we know now is we know that the Orphans of the 11th Night, including Tia and Erujan, are interested in ending the world, essentially pulling the plug on reality, and they need an angel to do that. The Sons of Adam are interested in punching a hole in reality and having a new universe created. Potentially, they may need... they both need someone of angelic descent, someone who is thaumaturgically angelic enough to kind of qualify magically as an angel, ritualistically as an angel. And Penny...
We have angel at home.
The angel we have at home. Exactly. When we left off, you guys were kind of sitting still in the kitchen, kind of trying to decide what you guys were going to do. Aoife was there trying to help you guys out. As far as I recall, there were a couple options on the table. One was get to the radio tower and try to see if you can interfere with the Sons of Adam. Get to the radio center. The other was see if you can track down the Coven's bones. Where are you guys all at? Aoife is kind of watching this, sort of like holding her tea, just like Oh, I thought I was coming to warn Soren about an assassination actually, I think she's going to say that, just like, "I thought I was just coming to warn Soren about potential assassination attempts. I didn't realize you had all this shit going on."
I mean, clearly you're not from
Uh,
here, Eva.
So
No, I'm not. They don't I don't know how much you know about how the news service works in Ireland right now, but it's basically if they don't want you to know about it and it doesn't happen in your village, you don't know about it.
it's unfortunate.
It
so speaking
is.
actually of the news, so it seems like we kind of have like two things that we got to do. And I guess the question is, in the interests of time, would it be useful for us to to split up, gang? Um, or do we think it'd be better to do these things in sequence and stick together? No wrong ideas.
Well, I think the biggest thing is at this point to get I it seems like we should be getting Penny to this rift location, right? Like this is the race. Like we want to get Penny there first.
There currently is no, I will say there is no like rift location. There are the locations that they have chosen for their various rituals to start either the world ending or the rift opening. The only rift that you are aware of to the bright is Zeke.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's also a fun tidbit. All right, cool. So I guess we could like do it our style if we really wanted to. Though I'm not sure that I do.
Okay, maybe I'm missing something, but I don't recall a way to open the rift that does not include the sacrificing of someone or something being discussed, and that has me concerned about the potential of opening a rift.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Is that? I mean, was our information just from Dr. Rainiel?
The information comes from Dr. Brainiel and it comes from Imogen's research.
Oh, okay.
I was going to ask, do I have any research of the otherwise? But
Go on ahead and roll. Go on ahead and make a roll.
just to figure it out, kind of.
Yeah, roll a figure it out. Roll a figure it out or a what are your moves?
Or maybe like a hit the streets. When you hit the streets to get what you need, name who you're gonna roll. Name who you're going to. Name who you're going to. God, I'm so illiterate. Then roll with their faction. On a hit, they're available and have the stuff.
I'm not sure since we're mostly doing this as like a memory thing. Like something you remember or something that you would have on you. I think it's just going to be either a straight mind roll or
Yeah, I can do that. I'm just like, oh god, where the hell are my... I don't know what happened to my dice towers. I'm just gonna roll on my table. It's a 7.
7 is a hit. 7 is a hit. You remember that the sacrifice, to the best of your knowledge, is not to open the rift, but rather to end the world on this side or create the world on the other. So that's sort of why both groups want Penny, is that there is apparently a need for a certain sacrifice of energy buildup. And from reading about these kind of ritual magics earlier that they take a lot of power. And a lot of the power that they wind up needing is sort of contained, evidently, in souls.
I mean, the destruction of a soul does create a tremendous release of entropy.
It does. It does.
What if we sacrifice? Imogen like spits out that like, okay, I remember, like, okay, yeah, but then she's just spitballing ideas, and she's like, what if we sacrifice? What if we don't have to sacrifice Penny, but what if we sacrifice the good hair Dr. Brainial? Does he still have
I
a
mean,
soul to be sacrificed?
I don't think
I don't
that.
think he has an angel soul. I think
Yeah,
that
so
might be
I
the
think
issue.
the two, no bad ideas, but I do think the two counterpoints I would have is that yes, Hair Doctor Brainial, does not have a sufficiently angelic makeup to be the exact type of entropic release that the ritual requires.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I'm also, I mean, I think it's theoretically possible. I guess we could do it. I don't think that's what we're trying to do. I think we're trying to figure out some way to stop both of them from doing it. I think. I thought that's where we ended up.
I
But
mean, it gets him out of the library, the archives.
He's in the house with you now.
Oh shit! God damn it!
And
Amber
the thing
is
the
the
that's
mists.
absolutely fine. The thing you do hear from the living room is, and also you'd have to catch me first. And you hear his little wheels go.
The mists have been pervading my memory. I am unable to remember things from 2 weeks ago.
It is absolutely fine. Herr Doctor Brainial is a joke who has survived too long. But
a joke that will outlive all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I guess I mean, if we're not gonna, we want to save Penny, and
Penny is
so I
safe.
guess it's
we put
right.
Penny in a safe place. I think bringing her.
We don't know when she's going to be discovered, right? We don't know when she's going to be found. So how do we keep them from continually going after Penny?
I mean, we stop them. Like, that's obviously what we do. I don't think we deliver Penny right to them.
Yeah, I agree. But how do we, like, they're going to keep, I mean, is there a time period? Like, is this weakening that would make the rift possible? Like, is that something that's going to pass? Will this go away? Or is this going to keep happening until somebody eventually finds Penny and we have to keep fighting them off? Is this like...
Or we kill them.
How many of them are there?
We kill as many as it takes. Problem solved.
We do still have the ability to call in reinforcements from Narrowknee, and
I will also note that one of the major issues of people having your bones or your body parts is an ability to perform sympathetic magic with those body parts.
Correct.
You could remove a great number of your potential enemies by finding those bones and either doing your own sympathetic magic to them or even just simply breaking Ivy and Tia's hold.
Well, I don't feel like that's something Jerome would have known. So I don't know where.
I feel like that's something Sefer and Imogen would be in y'all's wheelhouse of sort of knowing. But that's like close enough in both of y'all's wheelhouses that I think I'm not going to make either of you roll to remember that sympathetic magic exists.
You know, I suppose that is an option.
I mean, it would just require looking at public records for resting places?
Well, or if we can find just find the bones, to find where they're
If they're all
stashed.
kept in the if they're all kept in the same place,
They're all
then
tissue stashed
Right.
somewhere.
that's where my bone would be. So like I feel kind of
Ossuary or a big gulp or
I mean, is there just like a bone library that you keep with your cult?
Well, you remember you had his little bone bird.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. But there's probably a way to locate it. I mean, you've got me, right? Is there a way to locate where it is
Oh.
based on
that actually raises a good point. Your bones still have a sympathetic connection with the one that is missing, like a phantom limb. We could potentially try to use your here bones to try and find their bone.
then maybe they're
Their bone.
together with
That-
the other.
I think that's actually a fairly reasonable supposition. I'm
There's a
prepared-
bone,
I'm
there's a
prepared
bone everywhere's a bone.
Yeah. I mean,
The bones are connected.
yeah.
Uh,
That's how that whole song goes. The head bone's connected to the other bone, and Brendan doesn't know the song, but Sefer would.
Sefer starts naming off bones we've never even heard of before.
Sefer has a lot more bones than we do.
Yes. That song is not anatomically correct to Sefer in any respect.
The
No.
like
Starts lifting
207
off.
bones, the 207 bones you're born with, like Sefer has all 207. None of them actually end up fusing because Sefer is but a baby.
Mm.
I was thinking he had like 700 and something. He's got all these alternate, backup bones, and
Mhm.
anyway.
The configurations, they morph.
That's why their arms are so long sometimes. They just get an extra arm.
They just get extra.
Bone.
They just get extra boneful,
Extra boneful.
extra boneful.
All right, let's go before we start reinventing ossuary. Nobody wants that.
I was about to say. I mean, I
If
do
you start
want
inventing
that, but
ossuary,
yes.
I am going to have to release the shadows on you again
No.
somehow. What was Julia's character's name? Was it the Shadows?
Oh, the sorrows.
The Sorrows.
The Sorrows.
Sorrows.
Yes, the Sorrows. We love it.
Did we wait? Am I remembering this wrong? Back in December, we did a Santa heist, right? Was that just to get Santa back, or did we get a bone back from that? It was Santa's bone, wasn't it?
It was.
That was in the
arm-
future, wasn't it?
Yes, that is.
It was like alternate reality or
The
something.
distant
but
future.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yes,
That
you
just
did.
reached
You
the
did
stars.
recover the arm bones of Saint Nicholas of
Yeah.
Myra.
We sure
Okay.
did.
Yeah. And Sefer was into hats.
Yeah, Severed become a hat guy. Yeah. So Aoife speaks up and sort of says, "Oh, I know. I think I know a spell that might work.
Oh, do you?
Location. I can help. I can help do that. And as long as she sort of looks at where Sefer, your mom, wandered off to, and sort of looks over there and says, I mean, as long as it's all right with your family, I know casting spells isn't okay.
I mean, this seems a little more important than their sensitivities for that, maybe, and they're probably okay with it anyway.
I mean, like put up a screen or something, but I think you're all right.
All right.
What can I do?
So I guess if we need like a flat space, and I'll need like some chalk and Imogen, was it?
Yes.
You've done I think you mentioned that you've done some like location magic in the past like this. If you could help me out, I just need some like chalk. We might need like a drop of blood. We might need we'll obviously need you. She gestures to Jerome. What should happen is you'll feel a pull, like a pull towards where your whatever you've lost is. if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think last time didn't you need some of my blood, Imogen?
Just something that tethers back to you specifically, like, and can code back to your genetic footprint, so to speak.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
blood sounds good. I think Jerome actually still has a cut on his hand from when he spoke with Ivy via the mirror in the bathroom. So he just opens that back up. Do you need me to put it in something?
So what we're gonna do is Amber, if you want, we'll sort of, you go to, I assume Sefer's room is probably going to be the best place to do this because it's easiest to like clear the space and not have anybody ask any questions, and also the brain in the jar can't go up the stairs.
Right.
You go up there. Aoife starts marking out, like almost like drawing like a compass on the floor with chalk. I would like to know how everyone is helping, or what aspect of the spell is everyone doing. I would like everybody to roll lend a hand. And Amber, you are going to roll with let it out with a +1 for everyone who succeeds in the lend a hand.
Okay, great. Yeah.
So Aoife, you're going to get 1 + 1 from Aoife's like marks, which she's drawing this compass with like Ogham runes, like Ogham symbols sort of around it.
And then Brendan, Bedlam, and JD, they roll lend a hand. Okay.
Or are we going to do it for mortality or for Imogen's faction? Or
yes.
Yeah, my faction is mortality.
All right.
Okay.
Since they're doing it for my faction, can they use the modifier for that I have?
No, they use it with their modifier for the faction.
I was trying to help.
I know. So we got an 8 from Bedlam, and I assume you're helping.
Oh no, sorry. I got a 10. It was the camera could not hold all the numbers. So
Incredible. So what are you doing to help?
What am I doing to help? I am. What am I doing? Let's hear. I'm still in like partly like demon form, Bones trying to escape form. That's still happening. That hasn't stopped, right?
Yeah.
So I think what might come along with that might be a little bit more sensitivity toward where the bones might be. So I think as Jerome starts focusing on this and trying to help, in addition to lending a hand with blood, actually like drawing blood and maybe integrating it into this chalk outline on the ground. Whether like dripping it in a different pattern or in different parts of this outline, is finding that there's already like more of a connection than Drum even expected with his missing piece, and I think that's how he's lending a hand. So
excellent, and you are not exposed because you rolled that 10. You're not exposed to danger, entanglement, or cost.
Oh, good.
Brendan, JD.
So, funny story.
Yeah.
Also, how crazy is that? I also have a very, very funny story.
Incredible.
So I rolled a 6, and I think that's not surprising because, one, Soren doesn't really want to be doing magic in Sefer's room. because one of the last times he was in there, his fox exploded, and
Mhm.
that feels very uncomfortable, as does the fact that Aoife is here, and Soren is seeing everything that he thought he was and could have been. And that is not great. And
Mhm.
we've just been talking about ritualistic murder, and he is the one person in the room who has been ritualistically murdered.
It's true.
So I think that 6 just exemplifies the fact that he has no idea what to do and is kind of hesitating at any point he thinks about taking a step forward.
Mhm.
Well, if it's any consolation, you still got me beat.
Mm.
Ha, 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 ha. So, I rolled 2 2s for a total of 4 on the die,
Mhm.
adding my mortality modifier, which is -2.
Mm.
So,
Sick.
yeah, amazing.
It could technically have been worse.
In a purely intellectual sense, it could be worse.
Yes.
Um, so whatever Sefer does, it's not great.
Well, it's okay, children, because I just rolled a 12 on the die.
Okay.
And then that is a +2 because of Aoife and Bedlam's successes. And then also I just have a +2 because it's mortality. So 16
In
to let it out.
incredible. All right, just making some notes here. Okay. So what do you guys, so you draw this outline appears that Eva kind of stands up, dusts off her hands. Jerome, you sort of stand in the center, and Imogen, you go ahead and power the spell. What do you think it looks like when the spell goes off? Like, what does
Imogen
everybody see?
Imogen places her hands on like the outside rim of the spell circle to infuse her energy, her knowledge, whatever tethers she has to the supernatural um to the spell. And in the center of the spell circle, at first a small little tuft of smoke ekes out just little by little, enough to make that it looks like a candle that was just snuffed out. But gradually, as the spell gains more and more strength, and um, the supernatural tethers that Imogen has grow stronger within her, um, the tuft of smoke starts to take form and shape into eventually Uncle Matty.
Okay.
And he becomes kind of like the literal feet, the literal seeker of truth and knowledge that Imogen has kind of to get into the crevices and find the things that she can't quite get.
Okay.
So I think from Jerome's point of view, then this the spirit, this Uncle Matty would I think would somehow interact or like talk to or maybe touch Jerome and maybe where the bone was, and Jerome gets that feeling of a pull that Eva had been talking about, where the spirit of Uncle Matty is acting as like this conduit for the connection between Jerome and this bone that's being kept somewhere in the, perhaps hopefully in an ossuary somewhere. It's this collection. And it like magnifies Jerome's feeling of like which direction it's coming from, very very distinctly, like and it's like very obvious that the spirit is like creating an amplification effect. So
you guys all see the spirit, and you see Jerome. You immediately feel a pull. Like, you remember, you can't forget how it felt to have Ivy's hands go into your body, grab hold of your rib, and remove it. It feels close enough to that to be profoundly upsetting, but
yeah, I
doesn't
think
quite.
Jerome initially almost pulled back with this ghost reaching forward the same way that Ivy did to touch where that rib was, and almost walks out of the chalk outline, but then holds firm.
It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. He puts the hand on you, and you feel the tug in a direction. This ghost, who just looks, for those of you who've seen Imogen's father, he looks exactly like Imogen's father, but much younger. They were identical twins. So his eyes sort of flash white for a second, and he says, "Okay, kid's got a map."
Is there a map in here? In the room?
I assume
Sefer,
Sefer has
Sefer,
a map
do you have a map?
somewhere.
The map may be you, Jerome.
Well, no, I think I've got here. I've got let's see. Hang on, I have a. All right, no, that's wait, no, hang on. I've got my dad's Maryland Rail Atlas. That should work.
Yep. So he, you bring it over, and he's able to mark a place on that map for you guys, and Imogen, you actually recognize this place as you recognize this place. Actually, all of you sort of take a second and recognize this as that's the Coracle coffee shop. It's a coffee shop. But sure enough, he marks that, Uncle Matty marks that. You feel that you're feeling a pull in that direction. As you cross over the circle, Bedlam, Matty, the spell in the circle ends. Matty fades, sort of saying, "Good luck." And you still feel that pull. But now you guys have a location, which is the Coracle Coffee Shop on Main Street, Old Ellicott City.
Interesting. Do we have a way to get to Ellicott City? That's far.
It's not that far. You guys are in Columbia. This is about. I sort of recognize that the players may not have context for this.
Well, actually, I was gonna say I actually realized, I was like, oh, I didn't actually realize we were in Columbia. Nice, sick.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought we were in Baltimore itself.
Now No, I've been kind of having you guys out in the suburbs this whole time.
Let's just hop on Fody then.
Yeah. Or head
As a DC resident, I don't know what Fody is. What is Fody?
Oh, for Route 40.
Route 40, or maybe we'll take 108
Well,
north from Columbia into
Right, yeah.
Showing off their local knowledge.
Hop off by my old apartment, you know.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very neat.
Okay. So you guys can probably convince Sefer's mom to drive you there at this point. I'll just say, like, you do not have a problem convincing Sefer's mom to drive you there. They do have, as we had established previously, a big van to drive you all around in, because Sefer needs the head clearance of a larger vehicle. And
a van and a not so small arsenal in their basement, if I remember right.
It's true. They've got a van, they've got an arsenal, they have, they're really living the dream. Really living the dream.
Yeah.
Head down
and I think it does cross Jerome's mind at some point that we could use red, but then then his mother's warning about not trusting anybody at all in the snurch. So now red is off the list.
Yes.
And yes. I think Sefer's parents have proven out to be pretty trustworthy and reliable, and actually out for the good of everyone, not just one of these strictly one of these power structures, like while partly involved in the church, like not like zealotly.
We head down to Old Ellicott City, past all of the antiques boutiques that inexplicably stay in business. Past the game store that smells like feet.
The game store that smells like feet. The shop that sells Native American tchotchkes and fudge. And and inexplicably good Asian fusion restaurant that does
really good.
Yeah.
I want it right now that you mentioned it. I'm a little mad, honestly.
I know. It closed.
Then a new one opened up.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Apparently that's one of the laws of the universe, is that Old Ellicott City got to have a great Asian fusion restaurant.
It's true.
There you go. And if we're world building here, we can bring back the rumor mill. So
that's what I meant.
Also the Batskeller. Batskeller
that's what you meant.
Batskeller never flooded in this universe.
Yep. No. They didn't do the terrible
grading on all of the rest of Ellicott City. Yeah.
Anyway.
It's an episode for deep cuts.
It is. It is. When you guys get there, behind the counter, there's some people there. It's early Saturday morning, so the coffee shop is pretty busy. So there's like a bunch of people there working at the coffee shop. You see two people you recognize, one of which is Janice Chandler, who was prom queen, homecoming queen. And the other is she's standing at the, she's making coffees at the espresso machine, and as she's doing so, also like talking into a headset and working the register, you see none other than John Snipe.
God.
An episode for deep cuts.
Yeah.
For deep cuts. We haven't seen John Snipe since season 1.
Right? Yeah.
Holy shit.
And there are, of course, like, you see like their managers running around. There's two other people sort of behind the coffee bar, like also like doing stuff, because it's like busy. And there's like a manager in the back, but the two faces that you see, it's a Saturday morning. The high schoolers need money, and they're here hustling.
John Snipe.
He's a bitch. He's got it
He
coming.
had it coming.
Mhm.
He had it coming. Still has it coming.
Mhm.
What
I thought we got. I
I
thought we
roll
got-
vigilante right now.
I was gonna say. I thought we actually got more or less cool with John Snipe at the party at the end of last season.
Yeah, John Snipe has not bothered you guys very much, but he has also done nothing to endear himself to you. He has at this point, for like this sort of semester, he's been just kind of ignoring you all. Like in, I think, a little bit of a bitchy way, like in like a, I'm like overtly ignoring you, except for you, Imogen. He's not doing that to you. He's doing that to everyone else. And you're pretty sure because he has all of the subtlety of a teenage boy, you're pretty sure he just kind of straight up has a crush on you. So he's not being as big a bitch to you as he is to everyone else.
How this pulling sensation? Where is it kind of pulling me toward right now?
It is pulling you toward a door that says employee access only. Yeah, it's just pulling you toward a door that says employee access only. This building, like a lot of buildings in Old Elegant City, it's pulling you through and down. You suspect this is going to go to a basement.
Okay. So because Jerome is partly demon form right now, things are awkward, and I think he ended up borrowing like a large coat from Sefer before leaving the house.
Sefer does have several large coats. They are, however, all identical.
Do you
So
want...
if you, how much do you want to rock that like Columbo vibe? That
I don't think Jerome has much of a choice on the matter. It's either that or rock the bone spurting from various places on his body vibe, which is not conducive to coffee shops in Ellicott City. So I think we're in matching Columbo jackets is what's going on here. Long coat.
Who's Columbo and who's Dog?
I've never seen Columbo. I don't know who Dog is. Wait, what?
Well, because our dog, dog is dog. Dog is dog.
Dusty
is dog.
Dusty is obviously dog.
Dusty is dog.
But you were dog at one point because you were Dusty.
So you know what? I guess by transitive property, I guess that does mean that Sefer is dog.
Yeah, but I can't. Jerome can't take the Columbo title while borrowing a coat, though. That's just anyway. So yeah, I think we're awkwardly wearing matching Columbo-esque
just two Peter Falks.
Yeah.
You know,
two Peter Falks trying to solve a mystery.
Yeah, you know.
I will allow you to roll with spirit if you want to see if you can get rid of the bones.
I do know, but I do know enough about Columbo where at some point we have to approach John Snipe with, but one more thing.
Oh, yes.
Right. So okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
My wife.
I'm done. I'm done with the bit.
She loves
I swear.
bitches who have it coming.
You know, my wife, she's always talking about doing sympathetic magic with bones. She's crazy about it. Can't get enough of it. You tell me a little bit more about it. Where would you be hiding some bones like that? You know, explain it to me.
So Jerome does let the rest of the group know, like, yeah, before we fully go in, it looks like downstairs, like through that door over there, is where we're gonna want to go. He tries not to be too obvious that he's pointing toward the door. Do you think we should just walk through it or get a key or? have one of them open it? How do we want to? How noisy? Like, do we want to be about this? Do we even care? Should we just walk in?
I mean, they're your bones, man, but I think quiet might be the way to go.
Sefer, John's pretty intimidated by you. Do you think you could just get him to open the door?
I mean, do we just wait? Is it closed? Are we not allowed to just go in? Like,
It's closed and it says employee access only, but
Oh, I
that's
see.
never stopped you guys before.
So think-
Right. Is he
That's a good
like?
point. I think
can he see us?
I think Jerome shrugs. It's a busy coffee shop, right? Maybe I just walk over to the door like I'm heading toward the bathroom and try to open it.
I can always distract John Snipe while this is occurring.
I was
Okay.
gonna try to flirt with John Snipe.
What if we both flirt with John Snipe?
Okay. Great. I love double teaming John Snipe.
He had it coming.
Oh, he will be
The-
coming.
Oh God.
Welcome to
Uh,
LFTA After Hours. All,
I got
Duh.
into an erotic vampire LARP this week. I'm just really living my fantasy.
all characters are suddenly 18 years and older.
College AU. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The college years.
I mean, it's what
This is
happens
for
when you
the-
walk into a coffee shop. It all has to become a coffee shop AU.
It all.
Oh my
fanfic
god,
AU.
you're so right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
There was only one bed.
Somebody is I actually wrote that fanfic for my own novel because I got the opportunity in a flash fixing contest. It was very
hell
fun.
yeah.
Amazing.
Is us deciding to flirt with John Snipe enemies to lovers?
It might
Yes.
be.
All right.
I think it
Yes.
is. We're hitting all the tropes.
I think
Yeah.
you're still on enemies though because you're
Yeah.
flirting with him for evil.
For yes,
well,
for
not
evil purposes.
For other purposes.
Deceptive.
Deception.
False pretenses.
Practical purposes only.
That
I
would not
would
be the
like-
first time that I, Amber, have flirted with somebody for something I want. So, that's real.
But see, we're gonna break the one rule.
Too late for you, Brandon.
This is
Sorry.
how Imogen discovers that she has a new power, flirting for benefit.
Well, I think that as you guys sort of are in line, tell me how you are flirting with John Snipe. And I feel like this is going to be mislead, distract, or trick rolls. I think starting with Imogen. Like, what's happening?
She's actually not gonna know what to do, but she's gonna lean
Sefer is.
into Sefer and just be like, look like she's like talking about John and like make eye contact and like, just like that intrigue of like, oh, are they talking about me? What are they talking about?
Okay.
Hey, John. Situation.
Hey, what's going on? Hey.
Yeah.
All right. I would like you to roll. Amber, you're rolling mislead, distract, or trick.
With mind.
Brendan, you can roll to lend a hand, but you don't have to roll that until we see Amber's roll.
That is a 9.
Okay. Do you want to roll with lend a hand? Because a +1 will bump that up to a 10, which is a.
That is true. You know what? All right. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it.
For the biscuit.
I'm gonna do it. Okay, that is. All right. Okay, so 8 total, but my mortality is -2, so it brings down to 6.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sefer
Okay.
has never had a romantic feeling in their life.
No, neither romantic nor sexual. They're just, They're Sefer.
It's a success either way, but it does mean that you are now part of this. So John sees
Oh
the
no, I'm in
two of
this
you.
now.
Yeah, you're in this now. John sees the two of you and like marks the two of you. Pick your two for Mislead Distractor's trick. Create an opportunity, expose weakness or flaw, confuse them, avoid further entanglement.
Expose a weakness or flaw, 100%.
Uh-huh.
And Brendan, you helped me out. Should I go for create an opportunity or avoid further entanglement?
I as just speaking as the GM, you were trying to create an opportunity for
That
your
was
friends
kind
to
of my
sneak away.
thinking. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what I
Yeah.
was gonna go for.
Let's do create an opportunity.
Okie dokie. So, you two plus Aoife are going to, I guess, are you two going to try to sneak through, just get through the door? Okay.
Yeah, I think
roll.
exactly as I was saying before, like Jerome's plan is to once that starts happening, just nonchalantly head over toward that end of the coffee shop, like as if heading toward like a bathroom, and then just go into the other door instead.
Okay. I feel like this is a keep your cool roll, unless you guys have anything specifically, any specific sneaky moves.
Yeah, I'll just keep my cool.
Okie dokie.
I don't think I have anything special.
And you guys are both going to roll this.
This isn't a real question, but I feel Jerome should have an advantage on this as a drug dealer. Nonchalantly heading toward a bathroom with another person, but not trying to draw attention. It's just anyway. No. I'm not actually for the real thing.
14. But I will give you. I will say that because you are getting an advantage from. You're not. I'm not. It's not going to be like I'm not giving you a +1 for this, but you are getting an advantage from the baristas being distracted.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It was just a commentary. I don't add anything to this, right? It's just keep your cool. It's a straight.
Yeah, unless you have a thing. It's just with spirit. Tell me what you want.
Spirit. Oh, okay. Because
Tell
that's
me
what I was looking for.
Roll with spirit.
Okay, because I saw under advanced moves, but it didn't say. It just said 12 plus, and I was like, well, with what though?
That's if you take those moves. If you take those as advances.
Oh, is I in a different spot? Is that why? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's just because I read the wrong thing. Got it. That would be a 6 plus 0. I have 0 in spirit. So that's just a 6. Oh my.
Okay. We're doing this as an average of both of y'all's rolls. So what you got?
Wait, what was the other one?
Soren?
I've got a 7.
What's a 6.5, Della? Sounds like it's greater than a 6.
You're gonna round up, right? You know, this is gonna count as a 7, right? It looks like it's back on my end. Yeah.
Okay.
It is. It is back. It appears.
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Yes, we are back.
Okay, we're back. I have no idea where the stream cut out, so we're gonna run with it.
I think it was right about where we caught that.
Okay. So, you guys don't know if anybody saw you. No one stopped you. You managed to get in there. You do see, when you go in, it is a little, like, supply closet. You see, it smells strongly of coffee. because you see like the big bags of like beans that they use to refill all of the stuff. You see sort of like you also see like miscellaneous cleaning supplies. This is clearly like almost like overflow. You can also see like uh bottles of like flavored syrup, but like the discontinued ones or the ones for like the seasonal beverages that like just ended. Like if they ordered too much of it are all sort of lined up there. Um and there are indeed sort of towards the back stairs going down. There is a light on below you that you can see. And you do hear people moving, or at least you hear movement.
Do you think the bones are in the bags of the coffee? Please tell me you think that they're in the bags of the coffee.
No, there. I think Jerome, yeah, would just shrug and start walking down the stairs quietly.
Okay. You guys get down the stairs, and as you do, you hear movement, you hear motion, you hear a pause. Like you hear the movement kind of stops, and then it hurries on, and you hear a door lock. You hear a door
Where
open and shut, and you hear like a bolt get pushed through, and it sounds like a big bolt. It doesn't sound like a little. It's not like a little like click. It's like a shunk.
is that the direction in which I feel the pull of my rib?
It is. So you were going down a staircase, sort of like this way, sort of along a wall, and the basement kind of continues back the opposite direction towards where the front of the coffee shop was. And that's where you heard the door shut and where you feel the pull in your rib. As you get down the stairs, it opens up into a basement that the first thing you see is more racks of like coffee and stuff, more like shelving, again full. It still smells really strongly of coffee down here. You're also getting other smells. Both of you have sort of heightened senses based on your playbooks, so you're getting a lot of other smells here, like human habitation smells, like that kind of like gym sake smell that a lot of places where people like gather in groups are. The first thing that comes to both of y'all's minds is this place has a lot of business, but this is a lot of coffee. It's a lot more coffee than I think this coffee shop does. As you sort of make your way through, you start to notice in places where there are like the big sort of racks of shelves. It reminds you almost a little bit of like the archives with these big shelves open, those wire racks of like coffee and things. You can kind of see through them, and where they part. If you sort of look through, you do see an area where there's like a kitchenette. Like it's just sort of passed through, and there's like a table, like a little break roomy area. But you also notice like sleeping bags on the floor. You also notice like a a styrofoam cup of coffee that's still steaming on that table.
How many sleeping bags?
If you break away, so that break room area is not where you feel the pull. If you break away from the pull and go look, you will see there is one sleeping bag that's still like unrolled on the floor, and you see at like about 5 other bags like rolled up against the wall, like rolled up in stuff sacks. And you see a couple of like backpacks, not like more like backpacks than like the backpacks you guys would put your books in. Uh Sort of there as well. Um and again, you see evidence that there were people just here. Like you heard them, but there's also the physical evidence. There's that cup of coffee. Um there is still coffee in the pot sitting there. Um and if you look in the microwave, there's somebody's like breakfast sandwich, still like sitting in the microwave.
So I think as we got to the bottom of the stairs, and after we heard the ka-chunk of the bolt being drawn, I would have pointed toward my rib, expressing to Soren, and then pointed to where the bolt was, where the feeling is coming from. And then I would say like probably one of us would have noticed what was going on in the kitchen there, and like kitchenette area, and like poked our heads in and saw the number of sleeping bags and coffee. And I don't think Jerome would have opened the microwave, but you know.
Yeah.
And I think Jerome would have started walking toward the bolted door to where the feeling was.
Okay. So that's an option. What's the plan? Do we just want to talk? Do you want me to try to knock the door down? Like, how are we doing this?
Oh, I don't know. It seems like there's one probably person here.
I mean, there were more sleeping bags, so
Yeah, but they're all rolled up, right? I don't know. I think we should go and try to, I don't know, get the door open somehow. Maybe just knock on it, see who it is, or I don't know why they immediately ran in there. But I know that my bones are on the other side.
Do you not?
it's your show. I'm here for backup.
Okay. Do you knock on the door?
Yeah, I think Jerome will approach it and try to get like an idea of like, is it into a larger portion of the basement? Like, what does it look like? What's the wall kind of like that it's built into? You know.
So where this is in Old Ellicott City, you know where you've got like the Tiber that's sort of running through there. You have that creek that's sort of running through there. And you've got some buildings that are like built into like the bank. This is kind of one of those. This is the upper structure is where the coffee shop is. And then there's the basement kind of leads out. The basement is a little bit built into the side of the that hill. This part of the basement that you guys are standing in right now with the racks and that little break room / sleeping area takes up the same footprint as the coffee shop upstairs. To the best of your estimations, you haven't seen like where the little kitchen is or any of like the manager's offices and stuff up top, but best guess based on the size of the building. The door that this person went through would be into straight rock. Like this would be into this would have been built underneath the road of like the sidewalk and where the road is. So it would be have been dug into just like, you know.
Okay. Okay. So Soren's not just going to burst through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man. It is made of stone.
Soren probably could still do that. I think he has a move. Like if Soren wants to break the door down, he can break the door down. Yeah,
what is the door made of? Is this like a normal wood door, or are we talking about like rock walls with like some sort of thick metal door? Like what are we seeing?
What you're seeing is it's actually the same as all of the other walls. It is in that it is sort of like grayish painted cinder block. Sort of like your bog standard industrial basement cement floor, grayish cinder block paint. The door itself is a steel like emergency door. It looks more like an emergency exit door. So it is not made of wood, it is made of steel. The frame is also made of steel. But it is, yeah, that's it's not like a vault door or like a it's the type of security store that it's the type of security door that you would see in an office building, not the type of security door you would see at a skiff.
So it's starting to seem like maybe we should get everybody down here if possible. Trying to think if there's any way we could get everybody else to come down the stairs. We don't have any way of like, we can kind of text each other, right?
You've got pagers, right? So you can send short text messages essentially through your pagers. It's just annoying to do.
Okay, I think I will send a annoyingly typed out message of just like I don't know, like more large basement, come on down.
Mm-hmm.
Or just come down. How many characters are we allowed to send here?
Yeah.
Come on down.
Come on down. I don't remember how many characters pages were limited to. I know it wasn't a lot. But yeah, you are able to send a like get down here text to the others. Up top, you guys are talking to John. You guys make it to the front of the line. John has been making eyes at you it's been very like oh no, they're talking about me. Are they talking about good things? Oh, Sefer's there. That's cool. Is it? And so has completely worked himself into like a state. So when you come here, he's like, "Hi, welcome to Coracle. What can I get for you, Imogen? Sefer, hi. What can I get for you?"
Imogen immediately drops the flirty vibe because she can only maintain it for so long. It feels so fake. But it's immediately she's just like, yeah, could I what sizes do you have? Is it just small, medium, and large?
Yeah, so small is an 8 ounce, medium is 12 ounce, and a large is a 16 ounce.
And what do you put in your chai? Just continually creating distractions, but like,
we there's like it's like a black tea, it's like a black tea concentrate. So we get it in one of these. Let me show you. And he like goes and gets the little box legally distinct from Tazo chai And is like, yeah, so this is actually cool. This isn't like as good. You can make your own like chai concentrate at home. That's really really good. If you basically like make like a a syrup and like boil it down, and it's really nice. But this is good too. This is also good with like steamed milk and stuff. We have almond milk if you like almond milk.
Sefer, would you like something?
I could I have and Sefer is going to try and rattle off just like Sefer is going to try and use their analytical skills for evil. Sefer
Okay.
is going to look at the menu and the various like add-ons and combinations and such that there are. Sefer is going to attempt to order the most like labor intensive distracting to make drink that they could possibly order that is still technically within the realm of possibility to make, like not trying to be a thing that is so absurdly complicated that obviously someone's going to be like, no, we can't do that. Like something that is as complicated as it can be while still falling within the realm of the what the business promises to provide.
One of those fucking TikTok strawberry frap things. Yeah.
I was gonna say something with multiple pulled fresh espresso shots.
Yep. Yep. If ever you really want to just grind a coffee shop to a full halt, order multiple frappuccinos. Like, they will usually have one. Really busy places will have two blenders, and that will fuck up everyone's day in a rush. So we've got baby crimes.
Baby crimes.
Doesn't look at that.
That was an
Those
excellent
weren't
baby crime.
Those are
Oh.
baby crimes. That was just a cat on a cat toy.
Yeah. Yep. Being an excellent cat.
So you order these drinks, and you do hear, you see John is like, okay, yeah, of course, yeah, no worries. You see the light go out in Janice's eyes.
Yeah.
And you the one thing that this successfully does though is that Janice now needs John to help her
Yes.
make these drinks.
Yes. Correct.
This is probably around the time where you guys get that page. Would you guys like to roll keep your cool? Or actually, in this case, I'll let you roll either keep your cool or escape a situation. So it's either spirit or blood. But you both have to roll the same thing.
Okay. I'm good with either. I have a slight preference for spirit, but I'm good with either. What's your feeling?
What are the choices? Spirit and what?
Blood.
Blurred.
I mean, I have a -2 in blood and a +1 in spirit.
The spirit.
So,
What's we're going
Spirit.
for.
Sounds like spirit.
Hooray.
All right.
Halloween. Let's go.
Woo.
Yeah. Come on. Yay. That's a 10.
Woohoo.
yay!
What'd you get?
Did not roll yet. It that's a 7. That's a pass. I'm either
Okay.
rolling really well or I'm rolling really
We got
mid.
it. We got 2 passes. That's good. We take those.
You got 2 passes, and it's the in between, so you guys get a pass. Cat. Baby.
Oh, baby.
Incredible. You guys are able to make it in. You're able to make it down the stairs. Again, you don't know if anyone has seen you, but you are able to get down the stairs. Aoife is going to follow you two down. She's been kind of like just sort of like
Absolutely
scoping things
scared
out.
the piss out of this guy.
Oh,
Oh, look at that little
So
baby.
unhappy. So unhappy.
I would lift my dog. I would pick her up and put her in my lap, but she would fight me. And she weighs a not insignificant fraction of my weight. So
Bye, Obi. Damn.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Obi was like, ah. You guys make it down the stairs, and you see this again. You see what I described earlier, the like break room there, the door as mentioned, and you are now all together down in this basement. It is OB Trail. I love it. And you you see the space.
Well, all right then.
And Aoife's there too.
I think
And Eva's there too.
we would have given them a quick like, okay, so I feel like my bones on the other side of that door. And when we came down here, we heard somebody going in there and bolting it from the other side. And it looks like there's at least one person who's been down here, maybe more. And Jerome points over toward the little kitchenette area, the sleeping bags. Also, there's a lot of coffee here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe it's cocaine and not coffee.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I feel like there's a fairly straightforward way to find out.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna open a bag.
Oh my god. I
I
thought
thought you were
oh
going
my
to start
god.
the coffee.
Oh,
Yeah.
What? No, I'm gonna look inside. The bags.
Don't snort the coffee,
I mean, the bag.
Soren.
Well, you're saying like is it coffee or is it cocaine? But like they're very different looking things.
I've only done cocaine twice.
You've done cocaine.
Jerome looks
It
away.
was at a
pointedly.
party.
I mean, I suppose I should hope so.
You also committed murder at that party.
Imogen?
Also, look, if we're being honest, if I were to snort the cocaine or the coffee, it would have pretty much the exact same result with me, which is to say, literally nothing. So anyway, I'm going to open up the bag.
Aoife's just sort of like, hey.
Imogen, I wasn't ready for Aoife to know about the homicide.
I mean, it was like self-defense style
It
murder.
was.
Like, there was like vampire shit going on.
And werewolf
Werewolves.
shit.
And werewolf shit? Yeah, no, like that was kind of a bad scene, if we're being honest.
It's
The
American
motorcycle ride at the end was
teenagers-
pretty cool, though.
I mean, it might be on par with what they're learning in Ireland about American teenagers.
Well, I'm not saying I haven't staked a vampire or two, or, you know, sometimes you've... I mean, I didn't warn you about assassination attempts because I hadn't survived one. I don't tell you everything either. It's all right.
Seems like we have a bit to catch up on.
The church doesn't like living saints because of stuff like this, right? We like are alive and we do things that might not be approved of. So the church much prefers martyrs.
You're still a liability.
We can be embarrassing. Anyway, Wait, are we going to go through the door? Are we going to open up some bags of coffee and see if this place is a front for smuggling cocaine? Because that would be wild.
I mean, it also could be other bones that we can't.
I mean, did
Like,
they?
I can only feel my own. I mean, it is kind of weird.
Coffee.
So.
We're gonna find out. Are
You
there bones in the
guys-
cocaine?
I'm not
Did they
gonna.
grind the bones into cocaine?
I'm not gonna make you guys like roll for this. You open up the bags of coffee and you find coffee. There is just coffee in these bags. It does strike you though that the smell is so potent that these are possibly people who are aware enough of people with heightened senses that this the function of it being lined with coffee and having all of this coffee here is as a way of masking how many people might be here from creatures that have heightened supernatural senses who might be able to smell out that kind of information. So this is operating almost as like a chemical like masking of smell.
All right then.
So it's just coffee. Okay.
But why are they hiding people down here?
I don't think Drum's gonna worry about that too much. Because really we're here to find these bones.
Mhm.
And the bones seem to be on the other side of the door. And that's a pretty simple equation to Jerome. So I think Jerome's gonna walk over. And just try to open the door. See what happens.
The door is locked. You press, it has a bar, like one of those push bar, like.
Oh. Okay.
You push on the bar and the deadbolt stops the door. It does not move.
I think Jerome looks back like at the rest of the group and like shrugs and then knocks on the door.
You hear from the other side. What's that say? I can't see it.
Can't read it. Yeah.
It says I have the hiccups.
Oh,
Oh
no!
no!
We're going to take a break right after this. You hear from the other side of the door a familiar voice. It says, "Who's there?" And it's
who recognizes the voice? I don't recognize it.
Katerina, the vampire girl from church group, who last you saw at that party
Deep
where
cut
all
episode.
the murders happened. Deep cut episode.
Bringing the NPCs back.
Bringing the NPCs back. And that is where we are going to take a brief break for biology purposes.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
Alrighty. Thank you all so much. We will be back in 10? 10. Hello, we are back. We last left our monster teens in the basement of a coffee shop, where they knocked on a door that is probably not in the blueprints of this place, and heard an answer. Someone they know, Katerina, a vampire who they had not seen for many months.
I think Jerome probably would have recognized the voice.
Oh yeah.
And again would look back at everybody and then be like, Katerina? Oh, it's Jerome. You know, from church group?
What's the password?
I'm new here. I don't know the password. I don't know. But hi, how's it going?
Why are you here?
Oh, good question. I think I might have left something here. Of mine.
You hear muttered. Something is being muttered in Russian on the other side of the door.
Just just Katerina, or is there multiple mutterings?
There are multiple mutterings that you hear on the other side of the door. You should go away.
Yeah, sure, yeah. But I gotta pick up that thing of mine first. So like, do you mind if I come in?
What is thing of yours?
It's it looks a lot like a rib bone.
More muttered Russian, sounding maybe more intense this time. You hear a couple voices. No, we don't. I don't know what you're talking about. You should go away. You should go away.
It's okay. It's all right. It's no big deal. I mean, no judgments, but I know you've got it back there.
You can't come back. You can't come back here. You are going to have to roll to convince to convince Katerina. She's very clearly,
I think that's fine.
She's very clearly not. This is a persuade an NPC. You're going to have to.
I think
you're going to have to seduce, promise, or threaten.
How about if I use my tainted move of "Don't look at me" for when I mislead someone? I can roll with heart because I'm going to attempt to mislead her that I was sent here by Ivy to get my bone back. So I've been talking with Ivy, and I want to get. It's okay. I just came here to pick it up.
Hold on.
Did it?
Hold on. Is it back?
What's up?
Oh, never mind. It's back.
Okay.
It just grayed out for a second, but yeah.
So I rolled 5 on the dice, but I get to roll with heart. So that's +2. So that is a 7.
7.
To convince Katerina that I am here on the behalf of Ivy.
So you're lying, but what are you okay?
Well, theoretically, these are being kept by Ivy. These are, this is a place controlled by Ivy because this is where the bones would be because they're under Ivy's control. So I'm assuming that they are working for her. This could be not a very good assumption, but that's the basis for what I'm going to try and do. And that I'm actually here on the behalf of the person who is probably the faction they are, or under controlling them somehow.
When you say that, you hear again that muttered Russian, and then you hear someone say, this time in English, go. I don't know who Ivy is. I'm afraid you are going. Wow, my accent is drifting. Give me a second. I don't know who Ivy is. You should go have a cappuccino, and I'm sure it will all be fine later. If you need ribs, there is, I think there's a Mission barbecue nearby that you might want to go to instead.
Okay. Katerina, I don't know what you're mixed up in, but that's actually my rib that you have back there, and I really need it back. So I'm gonna, if you're not okay with me coming in, it just, we might have to come in anyway.
You don't. Wait. Just wait a minute. You hear on the other side of the door, those of you who have sort of like supernatural senses, you hear footsteps and then you hear another door open and close. And you
Oh,
hear
no.
people
They're getting
walking
away.
And Katerina, Katerina says like, just okay. And then the door opens, and she says, Bones! And just to remind Katerina, one of the first times you've seen her without her giant hat. She is a gangly girl with a an a very sort of thick eyebrows and a very sort of strong jaw. She has the vibe of a woman who will one day grow up to hold a pig under each arm, like she's a beefy. She will one day be beefy, but right now she gangly. And she opens the door. Also, vampire, very pale. The last time you saw her, she was insane and was having clear, like, bloodlust issues. Now she sort of says this, hello, yes, welcome. You are looking for Bones.
I think Jerome just runs by her.
Okay.
Toward the other door, to go after whoever clearly just left with the bones, likely. Is a pole in this room, or is the pole outside of the room now?
You race through and are actually pulled up short by that pole. Like, whoever kept running does not have your bones.
Oh. And I stop. Yeah, I stop and look around at that point.
You are looking for bones. What you see in this room, and everybody, if you would like, roll place of power, roll with night.
Get to take an advance.
Yeah. Night is the one you guys don't often get because none of you are night.
Yeah.
I am.
True.
You're night?
I am.
I thought you were wild.
No. Revenant's Night. Also, that's a 12.
That's a 10.
Nice.
Actually. Even with a 0 in night, I just rolled a nat 10.
I rolled a 7, but I actually have a -1 in night, so I have a 6.
6.
I have a 7, and I have a 0 in night, so it's a 7.
7. Sefer got a 10. Soren got a
12.
12. Okay. You are, Jerome, so focused on this feeling that you're just sort of looking around. You see in this room, again, this room is much smaller, similarly cinder blocked. And you see in here more like racks of like stuff, more of those wire racks of just objects. It looks like a bric-a-brac collection. And you start looking through trying to figure out like where your specific bones are in the room, but you're pretty distracted by your mission. Imogen.
Mm-hmm.
This place looks like a scholar's collection. This place looks like it just gives you that vibe of someone has been collecting these objects for some reason. It gives you that same kind of vibe. You have your own kind of collection with its own like set of like archival rules. This feels similar. Sefer. These are all articles of power. But you notice in here, in this room, now that that there's not that constant like coffee smell, that really strong coffee smell. You think about the voices that you heard and that tunnel, and the two of you think that while this is very clearly someone's collection, like you get that information too, they're moving people through here. Like, this is not just like a collection of items, but they're moving people through this space. You're not sure where that other door leads to. But given the backpacks that you saw, the sleeping bags that you'd seen, the things that you sort of heard going through, this is now giving you way station vibes. Aoife looks around and just says, "What is this place?" Henry says, "It's nothing. I don't know, but you say you are looking for bones. You are looking for, yes, you are looking for your bones? Yeah?"
Yeah, and Jerome, not realizing the greater thing that's going on here, tries to focus on the pull of where it's coming from.
You are led because of the sort of the successes you had earlier. Yeah, I'm seeing the stream do weird stuff now too, but it seems to be staying on.
It's back again. It's back.
Yeah. You are able to identify there is there is a little box, not particularly decorated, not particularly sort of shoebox size, but made out of wood. It has a relatively simple kind of like just sort of cross-hatching design on the lid, but it is relatively simple and well made. And when you open it up, you find in that box your bones and sort of miscellaneous other bones. That's yours. Oh, okay. You can have that. We will need. I am authorized to make a trade with you for something else.
Jerome sort of gives her a kind of an odd look, but then looks around to see if there's any other boxes that are like this one, or if this is the only one there that might have bones. Like, how many bones are being collected here?
You don't see bones. You see other objects, though. You see some necklaces on. You see some jewelry on various like forms, like a hand form with rings on it. You see like a when you go to like a jewelry shop, one of those little like neck things with necklaces on. You see a couple of books. You see a samovar. And you like one of those things for making tea. And you sort of see just sort of a collection of objects. There are a couple things sort of jump out to you. One is that nothing feels like a weapon, or nothing looks like a weapon. There's no guns, no knives. But everything on this wall is radiating power. No one item, when you focus your attention on it, feels particularly powerful. But as a unit, this is like I guess the best way to describe it is what's the word? Cursed
Menagerie.
No, cursed geography or cursed
Sacred geometry?
Not sacred geometry, dangerous geometry. When you have multiple uranium rods, you can have them in a very specific line and they won't cause a problem. If you have them in a different line, big problem. You're getting that kind of vibe. Like this is a
Hmm.
lot of
I
power.
think I think the first thing that would have crossed Trump's mind before responding to her is that, like, why would Ivy keep so many things in a place like this with just a door with one vampire guarding it? Like this seems odd. This seems odd for this stuff to be here like this under a coffee shop with very little protection, really. It sort of half says to what was her name again?
Katerina.
Katerina, yeah, of course. To Katerina, what kind of trade? While kind of half paying attention.
Something of equal value, equal or greater value. You know how it is. If you want to, you are taking this away from my, my. I hate the word master. There's got to be a better word for that in English.
Wait, why do you have my bone here? Wait, who is your master?
I am not authorized to say that. I have that because of various trades that happened, and also because sometimes you want to buy a little bit of like security from potentially hostile factions.
I think this is when Jerome turns to the other, like the other's like,
Jerome, do you mind if I hold it for just a second?
Jerome hands the box over. Yeah.
I would like to use appraisal.
Go for it.
When you appraise an arcane object, roll with mind. On a hit, ask the MC questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what the fuck is going on.
Hell yeah.
That's a 10.
A 10. Fantastic. Ask your questions.
Okay. Other than Jerome, who would want to possess this object?
Other than Jerome and the Coven, pretty much anyone. This is an extremely powerful link. These bones in this box represent an extraordinarily powerful link to a large number of people. Not like a crazy large number of people, but there's probably 30 to 50 people's bones in here. That means
Weird.
that's 30 to 50 people who could be directly controlled through sympathetic magic. Which is again why having that bird that you had earlier was such a big deal, because these are not just any bones, these are the bones of actual living people currently operating in the world right now. Okay, go ahead.
The other question was, there's like two that are calling out to me from this list. Fuck it. Who knows more about this object or its powers?
Jerome's mom almost certainly does, since she called to warn him about it. That's probably the first name that comes to mind. Katerina might know about it. She clearly knows enough to have been authorized to make a deal involved in its trade. I am going to give you, though she might not know the full extent of things, but you suspect that of the people you know who know about this, Jerome's mom is probably your best source of information on that. Maybe Jerome's dad, maybe somebody else in the Coven. Those would be the people most likely to know. There's like a couple demonologists that you could ask, but those are people who would like also have a price for their services and are not as immediately accessible to you. Cassie might know, being tainted herself. You notice another thing, both of you. When you open the box and you look at the bones, Jerome, you see one bone looks a little bit different from the others. All of the bones in there look very, for lack of a better word, like fresh. Like they have, they look very clean, still very white, still with like that little, around like where the growth plates would be, there's still that little bit of like pinkish patina. One bone does not. One bone, a long tarsal bone or metatarsal, has yellowed. You think that what has allowed your mom to speak about this is that they had to amputate the leg, that bone, she'd had crush damage to her leg.
Right.
Do you think that
right.
when the rest of that leg came off, it severed that leg? It's not going to be an option for you. You gave a rib bone. Not going to be necessarily an option for your dad. He gave an ear bone.
Yeah, if I knew it worked like that, I might have picked a more strategic bone. Now,
Yeah. I think a lot of people probably would have.
Well, that's interesting. But Imogen was saying, right?
Yes. So
right.
That's the information that you get is the people who might know more, who are easily accessible to you. Katerina, who's right in front of you. Jerome's mom, and potentially Cassie. There's a handful of demonologists who are not practical right now. And those are the people who would know more.
Jerome, is there anything else about these bones that you're needing to know?
That I need to know? No, I mean we kind of looks at Katerina and looks back to you like Trump doesn't want to say too much. But no, I mean,
we could, if you don't have anything on you to make a trade, we could always say favors. You could, and I recognize that this is going to sound weird coming from me, but you could always donate blood instead.
What about debts?
Debts?
I have debts.
You can, of course, exactly. You can owe me debts. Not me, of course.
Well,
my boss is better.
More that I have debts owed to me that you might be interested in. For example, Ivy owes me 2 debts. Could I trade Ivy debt for?
Who is Ivy?
Oh.
You're starting to think that Ivy's not involved in this.
Well, I feel somewhere in there Ivy might have. But yeah, this is very, either Katerina is way outside the loop or yeah, Ivy is somehow not involved here, but I don't see how Ivy could not be involved in this. I mean, yeah, favors could potentially work, right? Like, how would that work?
Well, the way it would work in this case is you would, all of you, because I think all 5 of you would have to owe a debt in order to take this away. This is a very valuable object. So I would say that you might have to all do this. what you would do is you would use one of these, and she pulls out a like a blood sugar like test needle thingy, and she says you would use one of these, and you would mark your name in the ledger. Just a drop of blood in the ledger. Write your name next to it with normal pen. We don't need to like sign names. It's not so demonic as all of that. Drop of blood in ledger. Sign your name. We call you.
Wait, how did you get this in the first place then?
I stole it out the back of a car.
It's my bone. So you stole my bone, and then you want to trade? You want to trade for my
bone
away that you stole?
No, you gave it away. You gave the bone away, and the person you gave it to, did not take good care of it. Did not keep track of it. Now it is mine. Well, it's not mine. It's my boss's. And if you want it back, you give someone a gift. If you give someone a gift, and then that gift gets stolen from them, you don't have any say over, like, saying, hey, that was my gift, I get it back.
Okay, so you say. But all right. Let's say we were going to give you a favor. I think we'd have to know who your boss is before acquiescing to owing a favor to them.
My boss. One moment. And her eyes like flip back in her head, and while she does some freaky vampire mind shit. For just a second. And then she comes back. Says, my boss is oh shoot. No, computer, don't do this. That only happens when I'm streaming. Or when I'm on this. My boss is James Lazarus. He's CEO of Coracle, and also, vampire. Also, running all this shit.
Is that name familiar to? I don't think that name would be familiar to Jerome.
That name is like, do you know who the CEO of Starbucks is? Bedlam. Like, if somebody said that name to you, you would know. If somebody said, oh yeah, CEO of Starbucks, you'd be like, gotcha. I have an image of what that person, that person might move through the world. But
I guess so. So Coracle is like a larger chain.
Yeah, Coracle is this universe's version of Starbucks.
Oh, so I was thinking like, okay, it's the owner of some little coffee shop in Ellicott City. Like what? Like who cares?
Coracle is Starbucks in this universe.
Got it.
A mermaid. See, a mermaid would be heretical. So, especially as a saucy mermaid, like the original Starbucks logo, all spreading her tails.
Yeah.
And tits.
And titties.
Tiggle bitties.
Tiggle bitties. That Starbucks mermaid had her big old titties out. It's out for Pike Place.
Man. I think Jerome turns to the rest of the group for.
I promise it probably won't be for anything weird. Mostly, we ask for, like support work for, he likes to get the stuff, the cool things, and also, sometimes like making sure people get to where they need to go.
Is he helping them?
Yes. He got me out of Russia.
That's all I need to know.
I was trying to look through to see if there's some. Is there like an insight check? What's the equivalent of an insight check here?
I
Figure
think it's,
someone out.
Yeah, we'll figure
probably.
someone out.
Well, it's not Jerome's strongest point, but I think that would trigger a try to figure out Katerina. Like, is Katerina misleading us? Is Katerina like what's going on here? There's a lot of trust happening right now. What with a favor to be bound to.
Yeah.
And this is all against like, or we could just take it.
You could just take it.
It's like a sort of like this is time sensitive. Maybe there's more talk happening here than. Okay, so I'm gonna roll. Try and figure out Katerina. Oh no, that's not gonna be a 7. That's gonna be a 4.
Does anyone else want to try to figure out Katerina?
I mean, I think Soren is on board. So, yeah.
I think. What'd you get?
I got a 9.
Got a 9? Okay. Jerome, you're in too deep with this. You have no idea. Vampire, don't know her very well. It's hard it's hard to know. Like, you like the things she's saying, except for the thing. What you do get is, if you did decide to just take it, she would defend this place, and she would try to stop you. She's not going to let you just walk out of here with that. Amber, you know that a lot of vampires use intimidation and like weird mind shit to like control the other vampires that they command. You get the vibe that Katerina is fully loyal to this person without any of that. And that Katerina absolutely believes the things she's saying. And just kind of thinking about the argumentative tone that had been taken previously, you think that Katerina probably argued for just giving you the stuff and having you leave, but was told, like, you can't just give my stuff away.
Right.
So yeah, that's the vibe you get.
Imogen, like, in Sefer's ear, or not Sefer, God, Jerome, I told y'all, I only have like 10 minutes left.
I get you.
It's the trench coat. It's hard to tell us apart with the trench coat's on. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
God, you see a trench coat and I'm like, oh fuck, Peter Falk, is that you?
Yep.
Yeah, like they whisper in like Jerome's ear, like that information to help move him along.
Yeah, I mean, with that, with the whole getting the vibe that Katerina would absolutely be all in on keeping us from just walking out of here with it. Sure. Okay, sure. Why not? And then looks around to the rest of the group, like to see. I mean, Soren said they were in.
In fact, I'm in twice. Aoife, you're not. We dragged you into this. I don't want you owing a favor.
I actually already owe Lazarus a favor, so
Who is this guy?
a plot line you guys never dug into is who this guy is. And Eve is like, I would vouch for this. as well. I'm not thrilled to now owe 2 favors, but if we don't do this, there might not be any favors to owe. There might not be a universe to come back to. You got to do something. So hand me the finger pokey device. There's a medical name for this. And thank you for the follow. We appreciate you. Hand me the finger poking device and I'll sign my name.
The Lancet?
Lancet! There it is. I'm pre-med. Fuck. And yeah, she will take it and do the thing in the little book. You see Katerina kind of sort of steel herself against the sort of blood hitting the air. In much the same way that you guys might steel yourself against walking into a room where, like, chocolate chip cookies are being baked.
Fresh Krispy Kreme donuts. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of curious how Sefer deals with this. Does this have any power over Sefer? Does it have a special power over Sefer? Like, kind of curious.
It's a favor, it's a favor bound in blood, right?
Mm-hmm. You, thaumaturgically speaking, you're pretty sure the blood is sort of being used almost as like a communication link.
Yeah. It's the I can still make pacts, even though what I have instead of blood is only notionally like blood, the blood itself is symbolic more than anything else.
Your blood has kind of a weird, like, I suspect it looks a little bit more like my oh, sorry, let me look at my fountain pen inks for comparison. I suspect it looks more like if you look up Birmingham Pen Company's Firebox. I think it's like that color, kind of like almost orangier,
Yeah,
like
I can see that.
rustier.
Yeah.
Than
it'll do duty for a sympathetic connection. So
exactly. But it does look distinctly different than all the rest of y'all's blood. And Katarina says, "Okay, you can have this. I will walk you out. Do you wish to go back up to the top and answer questions about why you are in staff break room, or do you wish to maybe, go?"
We could go at the back, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Katarina walks you through the back doors. The sort of unlocks that door that had been locked, the other one from that room, and leads you down another hallway. That hallway, about 50 feet down, becomes just bare rock, and sort of looks more mine shaft than hallway. And you see sort of branches of tunnel. And then you get to a place with a ladder going down. It says, if you take this up to the top, you will get to a closed bathroom in along the hiking trail, just out over by the river, over by the flour mill. And it should take you right up there. You should be able to get out, no problems.
Okay. Trom awkwardly doesn't know how to say bye to Katerina, and I guess goes for a handshake.
Katerina shakes your hand and she says, I will probably not see you in school again. It is not great for being a vampire in Maryland anymore, but it was nice to hang out with you when I had the chance, and maybe we see one another again. Won't that be nice? With less of the weird bargaining.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. And the drum leaves.
Okay, bye. You guys go up this ladder. And as she said, you kind of come up. There's like a trap door that's kind of heavy. It probably takes Sefer or Soren to heave it open, which you realize is because a bookshelf has been, or like a wall has come down on top of it, so you have to shove pretty hard to move things. And you are in what was once a like public bathroom that has since been like closed off and abandoned. Does not smell the best in here, but is not truly heinous. You walk out at the bones.
At the bones. Yeah, not really sure what to do with them next, though. Especially because it didn't even turn out that, like, they weren't even in the possession that we thought they were in. Like,
You could
I
chew
don't know.
them.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
You could just gnaw on them. That was an Amber suggestion, not
Yeah.
Imogen.
So as you guys are kind of standing, trying to figure things out, as you sort of walk out, back into sort of the world, and again, now you're a couple hundred yards away from where the coffee shop was. You're now like outside of the town into where that kind of like nature area is, over across from the flour mill. And you're sort of walking down in a row, and you hear a sound from behind, and you hear a bark of warning from Zeke, and you turn and you see that two people have appeared and thrown a black bag over Aoife's head and are trying to drag her away.
Oh, hell no.
And you
Yeah, no.
recognize one of those people as Sam Harrow.
Ah, Sam.
Oh, absolutely not.
And that is where we are ending today's session.
Oh, no. Sam, I thought you were cool at some point. Wait, do I have Sam Harrow's bone?
You probably.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. So yeah, that is where we will be ending tonight's session, with the thrilling kidnap of attempted kidnapping of Aoife Sutherland by one Sam Harrow, which I'm sure these guys will do their best to prevent. This
Murder.
This has been Live from the Apocalypse. This has been Thy Kingdom Come. This was not the last session. We'll get there, I promise. Let's do our outros. Ember!
Hi, everybody. I'm Amber. I was Imogen. I'm sleepy. Follow people on the internet. I've been on calls nonstop since 5. I'm so
Dude,
tired.
We are gonna wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
Bedlam.
Let's see if I can do it quite as short. It won't be quite as short. Anyway, I'm Bedlam. I've been playing, oh my gosh, I forgot. Jerome Nears. I started thinking about the other game too quickly, and then this name went out of my head because then Brindle Fallow entered. So anyway, come back again on Thursday. See Brindle do half-elf things in Waterdeep. It's going to be cool. Heisting and farming, perhaps. That's it.
Heisting farms. We approve. Brendan.
Hey everybody, I've been Brendan. I was playing Sefer this evening. It's not going to be super short, just because I do have things that I am doing. Oh my god, I'm yawning now.
You're welcome.
It's compulsive. Ugh. Good lord. Hey everybody. All right, so coming up this Sunday, I am going to be in Academy H, our Mask's Actual Play podcast, where I play Alex Sandowski, aka Victory, using the Legacy playbook. I also am the GM for Cryptid Community College, our Monster of the Week actual play podcast that is between seasons right now. Am I playing anything else? Not at this exact moment. But I am, however, going to be GMing starting up here in a couple of weeks. We're shooting to launch a new Wildcard Wednesday game. And that's going to be using Star Trek. We're doing Star Trek stuff. Pew, pew, space, lasers on the final frontier. It's called Star Trek Gallant. It's going to be cool. And I'm going to get to say all my Star Trek trivia that I know. And I think that's it for me.
Fantastic. JD.
I will also try to be quick. I am JD. I can be found on the internet at JD Not Jason Dean. I'll be back here a couple of times in the next week. I'll be back here on Wednesday doing a special episode of Redacted. I will be back here on Thursday for Never Ember's Enigma, where I will be politicking my way up the social ladder, apparently, and getting involved with things I should not be involved with. I will be back here on Saturday for a second Redacted special. And then I will be back here on Sunday for Academy H. So those are the things I'm doing in the next 10 days, 7 days, whatever. Find me on the internet. That's where my schedule usually is.
Fantastic. And I am Della Collins. I have been your GM. I have been everyone else. This is all my fault. You can find me on Blue Sky at Derla Kernlands. That's Kernlands with a K. You can also find me here on Live from the Apocalypse. I don't play other places like Julia. I live here. I die here. You can find me here on Thursdays. Last Thursday, I was in a very special episode of Redacted that was actually definitely just a game and not just two therapists, yes, ending one another until disaster. I am also playing B in the Never Ember's Enigma game, which is on the other Thursdays. In fact, this Thursday. And all I have to say about that game is a comment Andy made to me while we were hiking this weekend, which was, yeah, the astral plane's a wild place. Hope you brought back the right Rainier. That's all.
What the fuck, Andy? Hey, what
That's
the
all.
actual fuck?
What the fuck, man? Just gonna drop that out of character?
No.
Just to fuck with us. Anyway, we have been Live from the Apocalypse. We hope you've been a person too. Good night.